The third test, and the last rider that rode him, Morgan, had a bit of a tough ride, but then getting really deep and really strong. We talked to Megan about it, and she said that he can get a bit too forward and he can get a little bit against the bridle. So her advice was to be really tactful, nurse him round, and convince him not to do too many changes.
Last year I got to ride him in the second round, but the rider in the third round really struggled with him as he was already new to the test and he was getting stronger and really wanted to go. So I think Shannon will do well, but it's going to be probably hard for her after how Morgan went on him. I think it'll be hard for her. She would have struggled to get him back, not so deep, and getting him back up, and so she will do well.
Yeah, I think it is a job to, just go back and realise the attitude of the horse and to really keep that into consideration. You aren't going to make huge inroads with a horse, any of these horses. You've just got to accept what they're giving you, especially something like this one that knows his job really well. And if you try and change too much, it can be detrimental. So, in these classes, I think less is more, huh? So, at the moment, she's in the lead on 33.8, 133.8, and Lila's on 132.3. So this is got to be no mistakes. She has him a little bit more up. You can see that her experience says, don't let him get down. Keep him on the snaffle rein a little bit and keep his pole a little bit up. I wouldn't be overly concerned making him round and over the back. I'd be just like Megan said, that when she rode him in the warm-up, she sat on him and practiced the movements, like the counter canters and a few changes, and felt other things out. Megan, in the 10 minutes, did you get time to go through all the movements?
Not really, but flying changes is really important because there's a lot in this test and every horse is really different with the flying changes. But yeah, it's only really 10 minutes out there, and I guess you probably do have time to do all the movements, but then if you've come across one that's an issue, you really have to work on that. Like the changes, I found the counter canter really hard with this horse, so I did a lot of counter canter because that's something that's going to be.
So now in the extended, she could go a little bit more. You could be a little braver here, I reckon. A little bit modest, but I think she's wanting to be really safe and not upset anything, and see if she can hang on to her 1 point lead. It's pretty amazing that these two riders would be so close. Again, I don't know what it is about that corner, Megan. Clear steps 2, 3, 4, 5. Take your time. She took a bit. Yep, good. She hasn't got him deep at all yet. And now the medium. This looks really nice, huh? Keeping a little bit up. Yeah, really good job. In the clear transition, you can see that there's a lot of room between the horse's side and her leg. She's using no leg at all. Spur set well down on her boot, so it's not going to interfere. Now he's a little deep and lacking a little flexion. Yeah, the one to the right looks a little better. Get over to the quarter line. He too knows the test and says, I'm not going all the way over there, I've just got to come back. And now we have, I think it's walk in the pirouettes, is it? We're all on the edge of our chair holding a breath. It's so far a really good mistake-free test, and I think it's not quite as good as Lila rode him maybe, but awfully close. The walk looks good and consistent. It's easy. Whoops. A little bit stepping out in the pirouette. That's got to catch up some marks now.
I think Lila still rode him a bit more up in the bridle.
I think you're right. I think he's still a little bit deep compared to how Lila had him, but he had quite a big session about being deep last time. Now this is a very important movement. She's kept him up, which is important. A really nice hold. Now don't get him deep. Think canter right. Aha. Left leg keeps the canter. That was good, huh?
Yeah, that was really good.
Now the changes. Well done. Half pass, not so good. There's a bit of you've got some marks to catch up here now. The half pass lacked a bit of flexion and bend and really wasn't very much like half pass, so that's not going to be a super score there. A little bit better maybe this way. He's getting a little bit deep. You don't want to push too strong when he gets deep. You want to just sit really quiet, relax your leg, and just think, let him carry himself up a bit, huh? A little bit more snaffle rein. Whoops. What are we doing? I thought it was the fours, but I'm wrong. Oh, extended. Modest extension, because she knows she can't make a mistake in this counter canter. Whoops, she did. As you said, Megan, that was the problem, huh?
Yeah. I think even Lila had problems getting him around that corner last year. I think I nearly got him around the corner, but not quite.
Well, good on Morgan. She got him around the corner, huh? Now the pirouettes. This is where the first pirouette was really tricky for Morgan, and unfortunately, now it's going to depend how much they weight the movements where they should be ridden. She was over the centre line, and I think it should have been at X or before X even. I can't find it just to tell you. But I think she was well over the centre line when she made the pirouette, so that obviously she was struggling with the transition. It's between M and X, like it should have been here. So the same, and he's obviously not so easy to get back in the pirouette work. So she needs to be a bit more prepared early. Now we've got another lengthening. She's going to be modest this time. She doesn't have to worry about the counter canter. She's got to change. She's kept him nicely up in front of her. And a really super change. That's good. She's got a smile on her face. You know, it's important, you know. You've got to exude a feeling of confidence and enjoying. Now, where's she going to place these changes? He's got a bit of a short canter. She started a little too early, I think. 4, a little early, but 1 stride. And she got the 4s. Now, it's not time to relax now, because a lot can go wrong between here and the end of the test. You think you're over the worst, but you've got to make a clean transition, which she did not. This is what makes the difference between winning this class and losing, is not to lose your cool or let your guard down. You know, it's important to make every stride in the extended walk now pushing to the bridle. Yeah, which he's doing. So she lost some marks, some vital marks that she could kick herself about. The walk didn't go to E enough. It's these little things that you just, if you want to win a competition like this, you can never ever, it's like a tennis match, you cannot afford to be sloppy with 1 point in a 5-set game match. Now the transition to collected, which she did really nicely, a little vibration on the rein saying, don't you get heavy, just stay up here. Whoa. He knows what's coming. He's got a little deep on her. Got to make certain you don't let him get down now, because he's got to woo and not get too deep. And whoa, well ridden. Good boy, Mick. Super ride. It's not easy, and she did a really good job. I think she just lost a little concentration, thinking that I'm on my 3rd horse, I'm up to the last movement. Lost some vital movements vital marks when it should have been collected canter walk at sea, and she just lost her focus and let him trot for like 4 or 5 steps. It's not. The total score at the moment for Morgan Jewel is 167.264. So now we have this horse, and I would imagine that